All right. What's going on, everyone? How are you? We are here on a new episode of the Juan Solo Show with your host, me, Juan D. Clauser, or John D. Clauser, whichever one you prefer. This is episode 333 of this great and wonderful podcast. I am messing this all up that I do by myself, in a room by myself, probably just for myself. Man, what's up? How are you? Salutations. Hope you're doing well. Howdy. So yeah, man. You know what, guys? We're gonna start off this podcast with a little bit of a good news. I was gonna start this off with something else. I'll get to it in a second, but I want the first thing to be something that beautiful happened. So I remember I told you guys a couple weeks ago that I'm pretty sure I told you that some birds they laid some eggs. They made a nest in this big giant wreath that I have right out. So you see where I am right now. You see the framing right out here, right over here. There's a door. There's a door right over here, right? And on that side of that, and right outside that door is this big giant wreath, right? And just how it's made and how it's like curved at one side, how it's like curves in. It almost makes like, and it's like a circle and like a circle and a circle, right? And in those circles, like easily a bird could like lay, make a nest and lay some eggs. So this bird or birds, whatever, because it's been a couple years, it's been a thing, an ongoing thing. Usually every year, birds make nests there and they lay eggs. And what happened last year was that some birds laid some eggs, and then I accidentally left a sack of like trash right outside my door. Cause I'm like, I'm just gonna leave it right here, and I'll take it out to the trash can or the trash in the morning. Awful idea, because then it attracted some cats, and saw that there were some fucking birds, and then killed all of them. Because they were all eaten except one, and there was this one laying on like the concrete, laying like to the way to the car. I'm like, that's not good. I'm like, well, feel kind of guilty on that one. And so then after that, then the following time the next birds like laid eggs, I always made sure that nothing like that was happening. And I put a bird feeder, like a little bird feeder, as well as a bath, like a little bird bath thing. So it's for the bird, make it a little luxury thing. And I did that because I felt kind of bad the time before. I don't know if it was a year before. It was just like the cycle. I guess it'd be every year, right? Do birds only? Let's see. How often do birds lay eggs? Let's look this up. How often do birds lay eggs? They lay one bird per day. Between April and June. Yeah, for the average bird, between normal, yeah, because it was April, June, July. Because it takes about 21 days for them to fully develop. But I guess that makes sense. So so then this time around, I was like, oh, look, because I didn't think it was going to happen again, because the whole thing, I think it kind of traumatized some birds, and so they didn't come back for a while, and then the last one came back, and then they're like, okay. And I like to think that they're the same birds. They're not probably the same birds, but it's cool to think that it's like the same couple, the same two birds that are coming back every time. But anyway, so they laid some eggs. Like, I guess it'd be around, is it June? All June. Then it was April, like mid-April, was when I saw that two birds were over there, and they kept like doing stuff with it, and they would fly away. Like when I would like get home, usually what happened was, like, I'd get home in the morning, I'd like go to try to open the door, and then they would fly away. Or in the morning when I'm leaving super early in the morning, I would open up the screen door, and then that noise would scare them, and they would fly away. So it was kind of just a little thing. I saw these birds. I've seen these birds like every day, damn near, for the last almost 3 months now, almost like 2.5 months. And so they laid some eggs. a couple weeks ago, and I just watching it, I'm like, oh, okay. So I'd watch it. I'd like watch them. Like I'd go over there when they fly away. I'd go and I look in the nest and just see the bird, like the eggs, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool. And then I saw them. Oh shit, they hatched, and I saw that, like, getting to see that happen, and like, and then then seeing these birds getting really big, and then like this past, like, maybe that's like week and a half. Yeah, about a week and a half. I was like, damn, these birds are getting really fucking big. They're too big for this damn little nest. I'm like, I'm surprised they haven't flown away yet, because there was a time last Thursday when I walked over there in the morning, and one of them was like, kind of like, I scared it because it didn't see me coming, and like it hissed at me a little, and then it kind of like, it stood up a little bit and it started backing up, and I'm like, dude, this thing's a full blown bird. Like this, I don't understand why the thing's still in here. But there was three of them in there. And then last night I checked on them, and like they're all kind of looking at me, and it was like to the point, like they're how they were looking, like when they first, when they were first little, like they didn't have their eyes open, it was whatever, and then they slowly started getting feathers, and then they would see me, they would just open their mouth, and then it went from that to like being a little scared, and then like this last time when I saw them last night was the last time I saw them, because I checked on them when I got home. And then I checked on them right before I went to bed. I went back outside and I just checked on them to make sure that they were okay. This has been my thing. And I checked on them last night, but I didn't get really close. It was the furthest way I got away. I kept my distance because it looked like they were to the point where, like, if I got too close, they would get scared and try to fly away. And I just didn't want them to. And it's kind of a fall, and I didn't know how big they are and how their abilities of flying yet. Because I have no clue. They could have been like flying out like when I'm like during the day, then coming back in like when their parents. Because what I said when I read it, it said like birds will stay in a nest and then eventually will fall out before they're actually able to fly. And what they do is then they'll like stay in these bushes, and their parents will feed them that way until they're big enough to fly, and then they kind of go off and do their thing. And so I was like, I didn't want anything like that to happen because I didn't want it to fall. I don't want to fall and hit the concrete, because it'd be different hitting concrete versus hitting like just ground. So I was like, I don't want to scare them too much, and so I just looked at them from a distance. And I'm like, okay, they're all happy. They'll look fine. Because they fucking grew like this last like 2 weeks. They went from like itty bitty to these fucking full blown birds. It was wild how I guess evolution or animal growth, because they're wild animals. And like think about like evolution. I guess it is evolution, because evolution has to like we're so helpless for the longest of time as humans until like we're old enough to, and even then we still really can't take care of ourselves. Even now most people can't take themselves and they're adult. But anyway, it was just crazy watching these little birds like fly up. And then right before I started this podcast, I'm like, oh, like I should check on them because I haven't checked on them today. And I'm like, and it's kind of hot out. And so I was like, I went out there, I looked, nest is empty. They all flew away. They're gone. They're gone now. So good news is they were able to stay alive all throughout, from they were hatched, which is crazy. It's hard enough as it is to get hatched. And then they stayed alive all throughout being a baby and getting fed enough to become a full-blown bird. And now they're grown. And they're gone now. So it was cool. It was awesome. It was really nice seeing that. I had two stopwatches right next to each other, and I pushed the wrong one. Anyway, so yeah, I was like, that's cool. That was really fun to watch, to see these birds fly away, see life grow. I'm not going to take much from it. It just was cool to watch it, and it's going to be sad now to like, now I'm just fluffed with a bunch of bird shit on the wall. And I have to take the wreath down, spray the wall down, spray all the concrete down around the area, and then put the wreath back up. But hey, is it worth it? Was it worth it? Yes. Was it worth seeing Mother Nature do its thing? Yeah, kind of was. It was kind of cool. It was really awesome. Stuff like that is fun to watch firsthand, and then like the bittersweet of the thing. It's like, they were like full blown birds now. I'm like, because like yesterday when I was seeing them, I'm like, dude, you guys are like really on top of each other. Like I don't understand why you're still in here. They had the ability because of where the location was. They were safe, so there was no predators, nothing. So they were able to get pretty big, and then be able to fly away. So I think that's probably also why it's probably bent over, because when they pushed off and they flew away, because it's like the nest is in it, and like there's like some like branches and stuff like that kind of goes over. So you have to kind of like the mother bird had to go in there a little bit to lay her egg, to make the nest, and then to lay her egg. So it's a perfect little spot for it's a perfect little spot to make a nest for a bird, you know. So, but yeah, that was like the big thing. That was like the cool thing that's been going on. Then the other thing that I noticed today, because I was so crazy. So I don't know why I just noticed it today. So I'm on some dating apps, right? And one of them on something I've noticed a lot of is that women or people in general like to say a lot of like, no MAGA and no MAGA supporters. And it's either that. It was either that, or then I got this chick who was like, I only date Muslim men. And I assumed like, well, if you're of Muslim blood, like that would count too. And she was not okay with it. And I'm like, bitch, you're from Little Rock, Arkansas, born and raised. You haven't like, what the fuck are you talking about? Shut the fuck up, like fucking retard. Like, quit acting like you're some shit. Like that really annoyed the fuck out of me. But I was like, whatever. She's like, I like men who can read my profile. I'm like, bitch, have you even been to Mecca? Like, fuck off, like you stupid fucking cunt. Anyway. What I was really getting to the point was the fact that this lady was I matched with her, and on her profile it said like MAGA. I guess the third thing that annoys the fuck out of me too is like when women say like I'm a princess and I expect to be treated like one. It's not that I don't. I expect you should be expected to be treated with some respect, yes. But to be treated like a princess, it sounds really girly, and it sounds like you have some daddy issues, and it also sounds like you want someone to take care of you, which is hilarious because one of the first things you'll do, like if we get into an argument, and it's about like, financial stuff, it's like, like you're just not man enough. Maybe you're just not man enough. That's always one of the first things I always hear. It's like, maybe you're just not man enough. It's like, okay, cool. Like, okay, like if I were to say that to you, you wouldn't like that. So don't talk to me like that. Like, it's so crazy. So this girl, the last girl I was dating, she was sick. I'm like, hey, I texted her in the morning. I'm like, hey, how are you doing? I'm like, are you still sick? Like, is there anything I can help you with? She's like, yeah, I'm sick. Quit asking me stupid questions. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, awesome. And I just stopped talking to her. I'm like, I just never talked to her again. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I'm literally asking you, are you okay? Is there anything I can do for you to try to make you feel better? But hey, whatever. I'm the bad person. Not trying to say I'm a good person. I'm usually the piece of shit in the relationship. So there's never been a time when a girl's broken up with me and I've been like, why? Yeah. So that should tell you something. Anyway. What annoyed me was the fact that like, the MAGA stuff. It's like, why does it matter what my political views are? Like, I remember growing up and the whole reason why I want to date someone who doesn't have the same political views as me. I want to go on dates and date people who don't have the same thought process I do. Why? Because that's how you grow, you stupid fags. Like, stop being these stupid fucking morons. And you might be like, John, why do you use fag? Because you know what a fag is? You know what a fag is? A fag is is a stick, one. But two, faggots is a bunch of sticks that are like all out of order. And it's like, and the definition is like of a pile of sticks that you try to pick up and you can't control them. And that's what it is. That's why you call cigarettes fags. Anyway, I don't know why I had to feel like I had to defend myself. I'm just really I can feel myself getting amped and pissed. So I'm like getting super defensive about the dumbest shit. See, I can call myself out. Anyway, so it just annoys me because it's like, So maybe it's because this is me, but on my profile I always put like I'm never gonna ask you what your political views are. I don't care what your political views are. I don't know I don't give a fuck what you believe in. I'm not gonna ask you what your religious views are, because these are not I don't care. That's really honestly what it comes down to. I don't give a fuck. Really, I just don't give a shit. It wasn't, I was like 29. I'm 37 now. I was until like 29 when I realized, I'm like, when someone talks and you can just like kind of look at them and not hear a thing. It wasn't until that when I discovered that tool. Because before that, I'm like, how can I not block this person out? I hear every fucking word. Anyway, so it's just like, why do you give a fuck? Like, what I believe in? And then, two, like, why are you so? I don't think it's threatened. I just think, why are you so small? Like, why do you want to like not be able to talk to someone and communicate? Because I'm like, I don't care. I don't give a fuck if you don't like Trump. Okay, that's cool. But all I said was like, hey, like, you can like, because she's like, oh, because I made a joke of the fact that, like, I support Donald Trump, and I'm like, JK. And she's like, okay, glad you don't support that Cheeto or something. And I'm like, yeah, I don't support anything of that, because I don't vote, because I think it's a scam. But I was also like, you shouldn't, even though you might not like him, but he's still our president. So there should be a level of respect. And this is so funny. Like, there should be a level of respect. Like, so you're saying you're gonna act like that if you were to like go into a building that your job or something like that, and you're supposed to meet him, and you didn't have, like, you're not I guess I would say forced is not the right word, but if, your boss is like that, it's like, everyone here is going to meet him. You can shake hands. It's for pictures, for a whole thing. Like, you're going to act like a fucking asshole. Like, no, you're not. You're going to be cordial, you fucking cunt. You're going to be cordial. All of us, we would just be cordial. We would just be cordial, because that's what you do. But the thing is, like, try doing this in another country. They will fucking kill you. They will fuck you up if you play that bullshit with them. Like, yeah, talk some, like, you don't understand how lucky we have it here. We have it so lucky in that sense. So stop having the smug fuck face mentality and step outside yourself and be able to learn. But that's the funny thing, is like, they say millennials, this is my generation, between what, 90 was it, no, when was millennials? Because I believe I looked it up the other day. Was it 81 through 96? I was born in 89. So yeah, like, so it's like the 80s and the 90s kids are the millennials. Okay, that makes sense, because like they're the ones like leading up into the millennium, which was 2000. Yeah, so we were like kids. So they say like that was the last smart age. From that point on, like, statistically, you can see that like everyone is getting significantly more retarded. Yeah. It's something too. Like, someone's like, yeah, you use that word? You use that word? I can't believe you used that word. I'm like, do you not understand the context I used it in? Like, the context I used it right that in, like, retard. Like, we're getting, like, it means like, I was talking about IQ, and then it goes down, like, retarded, like, retard, like, a retardant. Like, where do you think that word comes from? So that word shouldn't be used either. Like, a retardant, like, that's a retardant spray, or like, that's that material's flame retardant, like, so you can't like get a flame on it. Like, it's like, guys, we got to stop. And I got arguing with this, but I'm like, these are sounds, these are, that, right? These are sounds that we've incorporated as for linguistics, and for sounds that we've all accepted means something. These don't mean anything, blah blah blah. This is the same thing as a dog barking. There's no difference. The only difference is that we've put some sort of merit on it, on what I'm saying. It's just like, guys, these are just fucking words. Oh man, I'm so upset for some reason. And I think, you know what, guys, it's just like, today's Wednesday. I normally do this podcast Thursday night, but I didn't work today, and I'm just like, you know what, John, you should just do this podcast, because if you get it done tonight, then guess what? Thursday, when you get off work, you can just edit it versus having to actually film one. And then plus, like, Thursdays are my really shit day. They're like my really long day. So I usually wake up at like 1 in the morning and I don't get off. I get off work and then I have to do all my other stuff and then, do my podcast. And then I don't get done with everything until about like 10:30, 11 p.m. So it's like a really long fucking day. So, being able to knock this out helps a lot, because I'm going to knock this out, go to the gym, and then probably how this is all going to work out is like, and if I want to, then I could probably go golf after that. I should go ahead and just pack my golfing stuff and take it with me to the gym. And then I already have everything packed and ready for tomorrow. See, this is the thing. I wake up in the morning. We might not get to all the shit today, because I'm on it. So this is the craziest thing. So I feel like I need to maybe talk about this. This is more for me than for y'all. I need to work this out. But so I wake up in the morning, right? Like this morning I woke up and I immediately have like anxiety. And it's so funny because it's like I know it's the stupidest shit, because I'm just like, okay, I have this to do. I want to get this done. I want to get this done. So like, I want to do one load of laundry. I want to do a podcast. I need to write. I need to get my stuff ready for the gym for today. I need to get my stuff ready for gym for tomorrow. Instead of doing it last night, I could have done some of the stuff last night, and that's the thing, is like, that's why I just went and did this podcast today, because I knew if I waited till tomorrow night, I'd be like getting and prepping for this podcast. Like, you could have done this yesterday and been fine, and you wouldn't have been as tired. You fucking asshole! Like, god damn it! It's just like, it's a lot of those things. Like, you just do it. It's like that credit card, you have. You swiped it. As easy it was to swipe it, it should be as easy for you to click the button to push submit payment. It's not that difficult. It really isn't. It's almost like what I do most of the time is like last night, I got groceries, spent $45, which was crazy cheap, and I got proteins, water, protein shake, protein bars. Like, I got all the essential stuff, right? I spent like $45.30. Used my credit card, and immediately when I was walking out, I'm like, I got in my car and I fucking just went and I did a $45 payment. Just took the money out of my account. And the reason why I did it was like, just because it's a twofer. Like, you got your groceries, you got to use your credit, you got to use credit, but you're building up your credit, as well as you are, then you pay it off and it's done. It's like simple. And it's almost like, what I should have done, I should have waited till Friday and paid it off Friday, because that's when I get paid. But it is what it is, because I don't know, this whole credit thing, my credit score and all that stuff has been really, since like January. I've been like, yeah, this is fun. I love just focusing on this and working so hard to like build this up a little bit more, just like making this better and better and better. Man, we got like 5 minutes left on this podcast, right? So I'm like, I won't be able to show you guys all the videos. So I feel like I should show you like the video of the week. And then, yeah, I'll do that, because I like basically 2 videos of her already. And then like all the videos that I was going to use this week, I'll just use next week for those videos. Because I've been on it. It's mostly just been me talking this week. So I thank you guys if you've been listening so far. I don't know. I think it's just because I'm so fucking, the ADHD, man. But anyway, so I was talking about how, so I have like this whole list of stuff I want to get done, but I get like, because I feel like I'm like on the bottom of a mountain, and I'm like trying to look up at the top of the mountain, and sometimes what it feels like when it's like I take a step and I can see like like 2 things converge onto each other, and it builds into a mountain. And like that's exact. Actually, that's the best verbal visualization of what my anxiety looks like. It just feels like 2 entities coming together and slamming to the ground to build this big giant mountain. And then I'm just there. I'm just like watching it like build and trying to watch. And like the further the tip of it goes where I can't see it, that's the more anxiety I get. That's actually the best way to describe it. See, that's why y'all should do something like this. because that's that's the best way. I've never actually expressed it verbally what the anxiety feels like. That's what it feels like. And then like when I get things done, it just feels like the mountain just like shrinks. I never climb it. It's just the problem just shrinks. So I don't know if there's like some psychological metaphor for that as well. It's like versus like, is it better if I were to feel like I'm climbing it because it's like a more personal self-esteem, or is it like, oh, you're just killing? Because what I look at is I'm more or less like I'm destroying the anxiety, because with every time it shrinks, I'm getting bigger than the anxiety. I'm getting bigger than I'm conquering all the stuff that I was thinking that, oh my God, I'm not ever going to do any of this done. I'm never going to get any of this done. Oh my God. So maybe that's what it is. I think that's what it is. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. This feels like a really old school podcast of me just like talking for 30 minutes and be like, oh, how am I going to talk for 30 minutes? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? It's actually not. It's the one thing today. I was actually, before I started doing this podcast, I was like thinking, like, you know what? I'm going to do this as my intro. And then if I don't have enough time, I'll do that. And that's easily 10 minutes. And I remember before you being like thinking like, oh my God, how am I going to talk for 10 minutes straight? Oh my God. You should do something like this, guys and ladies and peoples, because not to get any, I don't give a fuck. This is never going to probably give me any money. I'm never going to get any fame from it. But I have significantly grown leaps and bounds being able to communicate, to being able to, my brain just functions as a better motor because I can do these things. Because this is a skill I have. I can just like, all right, well, because I feel like I can get up and can talk in front of people, and I'm not scared because I'm like, all right, well, John, you sit and you talk all the time, just into a microphone, listening to your fucking voice back into a program. Like, there's no reason why you can't just stand up and talk to a bunch of people. So, stuff like that. It's so funny though, like the other day I was at work and like I don't pay attention to any of our morning meetings. We're in our morning meetings, which is like la 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 la. I'm really like this in my head, la 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 la. And like someone got called up for something, and she said something about, I'm gonna just start calling on people to answer these questions, and I'm the first person. She's like, hey John. I'm like, huh? And it's all I said was, huh? And it's like everyone starts laughing. It's like how can I not get that? How do I transfer that energy, that laughing, into like? But I feel like they're laughing at me. They're not laughing with me. They're laughing at the fact that, like, oh, what kind of dumb shit is he gonna say now? What kind of dumb shit? Because I come off like a dipshit at my job, but that's because I'm like, I don't fucking care. I'm just like, I get my job done, and I know I can run circles around you. So I don't have anything to prove here. And that's the biggest thing. When you can work a job and you have nothing to prove, in the sense of like, I don't give a fuck about this job. This is simply just a transaction. I give you 8 hours. You give me money for those 8 hours. After that, fuck off. So once you get past that, once you have that mentality, like a lot of people, like you look at people and you see how like they fucking and they care so much about this job. It's like, is this all you have? And it's like, my boss is what she's like. She's like, you know, all I do is I work here for 8-9 hours and I go home. She's like, I go home, I take a shower, I lay in bed, and I doom scroll. I'm like, that life sounds like shit. And that's just like, I'm like, I'm like, today I've been like debating. I'm like, should I go golf after I get done? After I get done with the gym? Well, I don't know. I have to get up early tomorrow. But I'm like, but John, like, what are you going to do? Go home and death scroll? Laying in bed? Don't do that. Don't be that. Like, grow. Be out in the sun. Be out in the world. Like, things will be better. Your life will be better doing that way. All right, I'm about to get cut off in about 10 seconds. All right. If you got this far, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next episode. All right.